You'd be surprised how much he notices when the lights go out. It's not just about what you take off, it's about what you choose to wear. Because in those quiet, vulnerable moments before sleep, what you slip into speaks volumes. And trust me, he's paying attention to every detail. Not with judgment, but with desire, curiosity, and connection. Men are naturally visual beings, but what many women misunderstand is that their visual attraction isn't limited to grand gestures, revealing outfits, or perfectly curated appearances. It's deeply rooted in subtle, intimate, and authentic moments, especially the ones shared right before sleep. What you wear to bed isn't just about aesthetics, it communicates comfort, openness, and even emotional safety. He may not always verbalize it, but the visual impression of you in those quiet, vulnerable moments registers more deeply than you might imagine. It's in the softness of your presence, the warmth of your energy, and the visual cues that signal, "I'm here and I'm with you." When a man sees you getting ready for bed, he's absorbing more than just the fabric you're slipping into. He's reading into how relaxed you are, how you carry yourself, and how naturally you take up space in his world. Wearing something to bed that feels natural, that feels like you, gives him a kind of unspoken comfort. It reminds him that you're still connected to yourself, and that you're inviting him into that space. A simple, oversized t-shirt, a familiar tank top, or even one of his shirts, those aren't just clothing choices. They're emotional triggers. They stir up something primal, something safe, something grounding. It tells him he matters to you because you've chosen intimacy over performance. He doesn't need the high heels and perfectly matched lingerie that romantic comedies hype up. What grabs his attention, what actually stays in his mind, is you being real. You being effortlessly present in a way that no one else gets to witness. That visual, the look of your hair slightly tousled, your skin catching the soft light, your body relaxed and uninhibited, that becomes his imprint of closeness. It's the contrast of the outside world's demands and the peace he finds in you. The truth is, the way you look when you're winding down, when the world fades away, is the version of you he gets to truly fall for without distraction. Men bond emotionally through what they see, but it's not about seeing perfection. It's about seeing something real and feeling invited into it. He's looking for signals that he's still someone you want to be close to, not in the flashy, made-up moments, but in the raw, quiet ones. Wearing something thoughtful to bed shows that you still care to connect, that you're still choosing him even when no one's watching. It's not about seduction, it's about closeness. He notices when you make that effort, even if it's subtle. And whether he says it out loud or not, it has the power to make him feel loved, wanted, and at home. Confidence is the most powerful thing you can wear to bed, and it doesn't come from lace, silk, or anything found in a store. It comes from within. A man may be drawn to what you wear initially, but what holds his attention, what truly captivates him, is how you wear it. Whether you're in an oversized t-shirt, cozy pajamas, or absolutely nothing at all, it's the energy you bring with it that makes all the difference. Confidence doesn't scream for attention, it doesn't need approval. It radiates quietly, yet unmistakably, creating a sense of magnetism that's far more attractive than anything you could slip on or off. When a woman walks into a room or into bed with the quiet assurance that she's enough, exactly as she is, he feels it. He feels that energy wrap around him more deeply than any fabric ever could. You could be wearing the sexiest lingerie in the world, but if you're feeling insecure, if you're overthinking, tugging at straps, worrying about how your body looks, that tension disrupts the moment. The magic isn't in the lace. It's in the way you move, the way you make eye contact, the way you take up space without apology. That's what draws him in. Confidence tells him that you're not performing, you're not trying too hard, and you're not depending on his reaction to validate your beauty. And ironically, that kind of emotional independence makes a man feel even more connected, even more wanted, because it's clear that your desire for him is a choice, not a need. On the flip side, you could be wearing something completely ordinary, like his old hoodie or a pair of well-worn pajama pants, and still have him utterly captivated. Why? Because of the way you own it. Because of the relaxed, secure energy that says, "This is me and I feel good in my skin." That kind of comfort signals emotional safety to a man. It tells him that you're not afraid to let him see the real you, that you're not hiding behind fabric or expectation. It invites him in, not just physically, but emotionally. And that's where real intimacy begins. It's not about showing skin, it's about showing up, fully present, fully confident. Men aren't necessarily looking for a fantasy, they're looking for someone who makes them feel something real. When you feel beautiful, he feels it too. When you feel sexy, he picks up on that energy and mirrors it back. Confidence turns even the simplest outfit into something unforgettable because it changes the atmosphere. It changes the energy in the room. He may not remember every detail of what you wore, but he'll remember how he felt around you. He'll remember the spark in your eyes, the ease in your body, the way you made him feel seen and chosen. And that is what makes confidence the most attractive thing you can wear to bed. There's something deeply intimate about seeing someone at ease in their most natural state. When a woman is comfortable, truly comfortable, it shows in her posture, in her movements, and in the way she allows herself to just be. Men notice this. They might not be able to articulate it, but they feel it. That balance between comfort and intimacy is powerful. When you wear something to bed that reflects relaxation and effort at the same time, you create a space where he feels both emotionally connected and physically drawn to you. It's not about wearing something flashy or dramatic. It's about wearing something that feels like you. Something that says, "I want to feel good and I want to be close to you." That's the energy that draws a man in. Comfort tells him that you trust him, that you're not putting on a show, not worried about trying to impress, because you already know he wants you just the way you are. It's a quiet message, but one that lands hard. When you're wearing something that lets you breathe, move freely, and still makes you feel attractive, it puts him at ease too. It invites him into a version of you that's unguarded and open. And when that comfort is paired with a soft hint of sensuality, maybe the curve of your shoulder, the way the fabric drapes over your skin, it creates a blend of emotional warmth and physical allure that's irresistible. That's the sweet spot he craves but rarely talks about. The bedtime version of you isn't polished, it's real, it's soft, it's honest, and that's where connection lives. Men want to be with someone who feels good in her body and doesn't need to put on a performance to earn attention. When you choose something that feels good to you, it changes everything. It's not just about how it looks, it's about how you feel in it. That feeling gets communicated in every gesture, every glance, every small act of closeness. It makes him want to lean in, because being near you feels like peace, like home, like something real in a world that's often chaotic. Even something as simple as slipping into one of his shirts can carry a heavy emotional weight. It's a silent way of saying, "I feel safe here, I feel close to you." And that visual of you in something effortless, something personal, sticks in his memory far longer than any expensive lingerie could. It becomes a moment, a snapshot of intimacy he revisits in his mind. He doesn't need bold or loud, he needs real. And real is found in those quiet moments when you're simply present, when you're not trying to be anything but yourself. That's when he feels most drawn to you, not just physically, but emotionally. Because when comfort and intimacy meet, it tells him he's not just in your space, he's in your heart. Men may not say it out loud, but they love to be surprised in subtle, playful ways, especially when it comes to what you wear to bed. The unexpected catches their attention, not because it's loud or shocking, but because it's different from the usual. It shows that you're still thinking about them, still interested in keeping things fun, still paying attention to the little things that add spark to routine moments. And that effort doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be as simple as wearing a color you don't usually wear, trying a slightly different texture, or even just showing up with a mischievous look in your eyes that says, "Tonight's a little different." Men respond to these kinds of cues more than most women realize, because they feed the part of him that wants to feel desired, chosen, and excited. The power of variety is often underestimated. It's not about reinventing yourself or constantly chasing novelty. It's about showing that you still care enough to be intentional. When you occasionally step outside the usual, maybe wear something a bit flirtier, something that makes you feel a little more daring, it reactivates that part of his brain that first lit up when he met you. The part that was curious and the part that wanted to explore and discover. Even a small shift can create that feeling all over again. It keeps the dynamic fresh and reminds him that there are still layers of you he gets to uncover. That sense of mystery, even in the smallest ways, is magnetic. You don't have to go over the top to create that excitement. Sometimes the most powerful surprises are the ones that are grounded in authenticity. A cozy robe worn slightly off the shoulder, a playful smirk paired with pajama shorts, or even just walking into the room differently, more confidently, more intentionally. These moments don't scream for attention, but they invite it. They pull him in without forcing it. Because what he really wants is to feel like he's still discovering new parts of you. Even if you've been together for years, that sense of discovery creates emotional electricity, the kind that keeps relationships from slipping into autopilot. Men aren't looking for constant change. They're just hoping for moments that feel alive, that feel chosen and deliberate. Wearing something unexpected to bed, even once in a while, signals that you still want to be seen and still want to see him. It's a way of saying, we may be comfortable, but I'm not getting complacent. And that message lands in a deeper place than just visual attraction. It reminds him that this connection isn't fading, it's evolving, that you're still showing up, not just as a partner, but as a woman who values desire, curiosity, and closeness. And it's those little surprises, those unspoken gestures, that keep the nights warm and the connection strong. What many women don't realize is that for a man, the most memorable and emotionally impactful things you wear to bed are often not the ones hanging in a department store or featured in a lingerie ad. They're the ones that carry meaning. The shirt that smells like you, the hoodie you always wear when you're cold, the little cotton shorts you've had forever that he sees as yours. These personal touches carry a kind of emotional intimacy that far outweighs anything labeled sexy. It's not about the trend or the fashion. It's about the feeling that comes with the familiarity. When a man sees you in something personal, something that has history or sentiment, it brings a sense of comfort and connection that no silk set can compete with. It reminds him of moments, of laughter, of comfort, of love. It becomes more than just clothing. It becomes a symbol of you and everything he's attached to emotionally. Men aren't emotionally moved by price tags or flashy garments the way you might think. What touches them deeply are those small signals that show you're being yourself and letting him in. A girl in his t-shirt, for example, is a classic example of something that hits emotionally hard. It's simple but powerful. When you wear something of his to bed, it tells him that you feel safe, that you're comfortable, that you want to be close. And that small gesture makes him feel connected, chosen, and important. It's not just an article of clothing anymore. It becomes an extension of the bond between you. What you choose to wear, especially when it carries a story or sentimental value, tells him a lot about where you're at emotionally. It shows that you're not dressing for anyone else, not the world, not for appearance's sake, but for yourself and your connection with him. That authenticity is magnetic. It pulls him closer because it feels real. And real is rare. In a world filled with filters, expectations, and surface-level performances, there's something deeply attractive about a woman who wears something because it means something to her, not because it's what she thinks she should wear. Sometimes the most beautiful moments happen when you're just in your element, wrapped in something that holds comfort and memory. That old robe, that tank top from college, or the pajama set you've had for years. Those aren't just bedtime clothes. They're pieces of your story. And when a man is emotionally invested, he notices them. He connects to them because they're part of the everyday life you've shared or are building together. They become markers of your shared experience, of your real life, not just the highlight reel. It's in these moments that he sees the depth of you, the woman beyond the attraction, and that's what keeps him emotionally rooted. Personal touches matter because they're unique to you. They aren't trying to imitate anyone else or live up to a standard. They exist because they're yours. And that individuality, that quiet confidence in not needing to impress, is what makes a man feel emotionally at home with you. It says, "This is me, and I'm enough." That silent message, delivered through something as simple as what you wear to bed, becomes an unspoken love letter, one he reads without needing words, one that tells him he's with someone real, someone who doesn't need to dress up to be beautiful, someone who shows love, comfort, and confidence in ways that can't be bought, but are deeply felt. What you choose to wear to bed tells a story, not just to him, but to yourself. The way you feel in your own skin shows through every small movement, every glance, and every moment of closeness. Men are incredibly intuitive when it comes to picking up on your energy, even if they can't always put it into words. If you feel sexy, he feels that energy. If you feel uncomfortable or insecure, he senses that too. It's less about what's on your body and more about the message your body language is sending. Your choice of sleepwear becomes a reflection of how you view yourself, how confident you are in your femininity, and how open you are to intimacy, not just physical but emotional. There's a major difference between wearing something you think you should wear and wearing something that makes you feel powerful, feminine, and at peace. When you walk into the room wearing something that makes you feel good, there's an ease in your presence. You don't fidget. You don't second guess yourself. You own the space with quiet confidence, and that is deeply attractive to a man. He sees the way you move, how relaxed you are, how connected you are to yourself. That kind of self-assuredness pulls him in because it creates a space where vulnerability can exist without fear. It tells him you're not afraid of being seen. You're not shrinking, you're not seeking validation, you're simply allowing yourself to be, fully, unapologetically, and that creates an emotional gravity that draws him closer. On the other hand, when you wear something that doesn't make you feel good, or that you put on out of obligation, that disconnect becomes visible. He may not know why the energy feels different, but he'll feel it. The tension in your body, the lack of ease, the subtle hesitation in your closeness, those things speak louder than any outfit ever could. It's not about achieving a look, it's about achieving a feeling, because the way you feel about yourself determines how you show up in the relationship, and how you show up affects how deep the emotional connection can go. When a woman embraces her body, her energy changes. It's not about perfection, it's about presence, confidence in yourself. Whether you're in silk, cotton, or nothing at all, is what transforms the moment. It lets him see not just the surface, but the soul. It opens the door for emotional intimacy because it communicates, I am safe with myself and I'm safe with you. That trust, that self-acceptance, gives him permission to drop his own guard, to be more emotionally available, to meet you in that vulnerable space with honesty and affection. Your choice of what to wear to bed isn't superficial, it's emotional, it's psychological. It's a mirror of how you're feeling internally, and he reads that mirror clearly. When you love what you're wearing, when you feel beautiful in it, you're not just dressing for him. You're radiating a kind of energy that deepens connection. You're telling him, without saying a word, that you value yourself, and that you're allowing him into that space of self-love and ease. That unspoken message makes him feel chosen. It makes him feel like he's not just with a woman, he's with you in your most grounded, empowered form. That's what he remembers. That's what leaves a mark. At the end of the day, what he wants you to wear to bed isn't about lace or labels. It's about how you feel in what you wear. He craves connection, not perfection. He remembers the way you look when you feel confident, comfortable, playful, or completely yourself. Whether it's his t-shirt, your favorite pajama set, or absolutely nothing at all, the real turn-on is the energy behind it, the ease in your body, the confidence in your smile, the softness in your presence. When you wear something that makes you feel good, you create a space where he feels wanted, chosen, and emotionally safe. That's what stays with him, not the fabric, not the style, but the feeling. Because in the quiet moments before sleep, it's not about what's on your body. It's about the unspoken intimacy you wrap him in, without saying a single word.